again for our reading conference, Parent Edition. One thing as a teacher, and I speak for every teacher that I know, that we would want you to do over the summer is read with your kid. So we've talked about how to help your kid pick a good fit book. We've talked about how to help your kid begin reading to themselves at home. And today I want to give you a few tips on reading with your kid. So here are some do's and don'ts of reading with your child. So if you're sitting with your child, one thing to do is to listen. Just watch and observe what they do. Listen to them read the story. Don't interrupt. Think about when you're trying to tell your kid something or you're having a conversation with somebody. The last thing you want somebody to do is cut you off and ruin your train of thought. So try to just listen and be with your child instead of interrupting when you see them make a mistake. So one way to help yourself do that is if you hear your kid make a mistake, wait until the end of the sentence or the end of the page and then go back and help them out. If they're really struggling with a word, I would wait about 3 seconds, kind of count in your head, and then help them with that word. So the last thing you want to do is interrupt. All right, next thing, number 2, is have a conversation with them about the story. It's not a pop quiz. You're not seeing how many questions they get wrong out of the questions you ask. You just want to have a little conversation about what they're reading. So you can ask them about how they were reading. How do they think they sounded when they were reading? You can ask them what the story was about. What was their favorite part? It's not a pop quiz. It's just a conversation. Conversation is between friends and comrades. You're not a teacher specifically. You are teaching your child, but leave the aggravating stuff to the teacher when they get to school. You just want to have fun with your kid and enjoy that quiet time with them. Next, number 3, offer specific feedback. So if you saw your kid struggling with something and you waited, you gave them some wait, or you gave yourself some wait time before you told them something you noticed, just tell them what you noticed. Don't say, I saw you did this wrong, or you need to go back and do this. So think about how you would want someone to tell you you did something wrong and offer that constructive criticism. So, and it doesn't have to be something that they did wrong. Think about what they did right. You could say things instead of, good job, that puts it on you. They've made you happy. Whereas you want them to feel success as a reader. And you want to tell them something you noticed they did for themselves while they were reading. Such as, I saw you using your finger to track those words. And they know what that means. That means, oh, I did something right while I was reading. I used a strategy that I learned in school. Then you could say something like, I heard you sounding out that word. You really attacked that word and sounded it out and stretched out those sounds and snapped it back together. You could say things like, I saw you go back and reread that sentence. So think about a specific praise you could give your kid that's positive, that will remind them of what makes a good reader. So first thing to do is listen. Second thing, have a conversation about their story, not a pop quiz. And number 3, offer specific feedback and some positive reinforcement of the strategies they're using and remind them of those strategies of what makes a good reader. So there are your 3 little tips of how to read with your kid. I hope you use them. Read every day. Wash your hands. Bye.